Hi everybody. So in this video I'm gonna show you guys how I made these cute vintage bells. I promised in the last video that I would show everybody how I made these bells just using stuff out of Dollar Tree and stuff that I had around the house, and they have really like blended in so nicely with my decor this year, and they're really inexpensive to make, and they're really awesome. And these they'll go nice with any design you may have for Christmas this year. And those ones are made out of soda cans, and that's another video, so stay tuned for that. And there you have my you see my little helper. He's just loading my dining room tree down with all these vintage bells. So I'm going to show you what I made them out of in this video. Okay, so you're going to go to Dollar Tree and get shot glasses. Yes, that's what these are, shot glasses. And some of those plastic wine glasses like that. I know that's how you're it's more recognizable that way. And it has these little pieces at the bottom like that. Don't throw those away, because you could use those to sit the cup down in to dry later on. I'll show you a boo-boo that I was making and I realized in the end that I could use those bottom pieces to help let the cup dry with the hot glue that I put on it. But yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to, you're not going to use that. You're going to remove that, the bottom piece. And I took them outside and I spray painted them all black. So a lot of those shot glasses come in those packets. So I only used one row because I didn't want to make too many. I just make them as I go along. Okay, so we're going to sit those right there to the side, and we're going to sit those to the side just in case if we need more later. Okay, so as you can see, I went ahead and just spray painted them black. Now, how I get that texture on the bell to have the bell look like it's metal and been welded together, I just used the hot glue. I used the hot glue, and I just go around the bottom of the bell, or any place where I want the bell to have a look where it's really old and have been welded together. Make it look like it's really, really metal. And the bell was welded together like some old vintage bells you'll see, like the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia or something like that. Now this is where I made my boo-boo. I made a mistake, and not thinking, I stuck the cup down onto a paper plate for it to dry. Now what the glue did was it drained down onto the paper plate, and it made it kind of difficult. It was kind of difficult for me to get the cup off the paper plate. So that's where those bottoms that come in the pack with these cups come in handy. Instead of sitting your glass down on a paper plate or anything, I would suggest that you just sit your glass up in the in those little containers that it came with to like hold the glass up. Those little rubber bottoms, little plastic bottoms that I showed you earlier, that comes with them. And that'll, yeah, see, I sat it down, and it was really hard trying to get them off of there without damaging the cup, because again, they are plastic. Okay, so, and I broke a couple of them, just squeezing them too hard. Some of them cracked, but it's fine. Like this one, it cracked a little, but I just went over it. I went down it with some hot glue across the crack, and problem was solved. So there, this one I'm just creating an illusion of like welded nails. So yeah, the ideas is endless with the hot glue gun. So yeah, we're going to continue on our little DIY series up until after Thanksgiving, and then we're going to do a complete home tour and a clean with me, and I'm going to decorate the outside of my home, so stay tuned for that. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Tanya, and I've been doing these DIY series for Christmas, you know. So we're just going to have fun. I just appreciate everybody tuning in because I'm pretty new here. So I just appreciate everybody, you know, sticking in there watching me make these creations for, you know, the holiday season. I really enjoy it. So here, I'm making a handle for the little, the tiny bells, and I'm just using some regular cardboard. This came in that cardboard sheet came in a package that I got from Amazon, because we don't waste anything over here, honey. So I've just been cutting them into little pieces like that I could just, you know, fold over and just put a little dollop of glue there. And it's going to look strange. It's going to look strange in the beginning, but it'll all come together once, you know, you put your rub and buff on it. Yeah, so right here, I'm just going over it with some hot glue. And I put the hot glue everywhere where I want it to look like the bell was welded. Even on the handle right there to cover those little notches so people can't see that that's actually a cardboard box. You know how the cardboard box have like these little squares that you could see? Well, when you cover it with the hot glue, and be careful because this glue it gets so hot, and I've just been a daredevil, you know, not wearing any protective gear until then, until this clip. I was forced to put on my little fingertips. But yeah, so now I'm just putting on how I put on the little string to hold the bell. I just used a little bit of glue on each side of the stem of that glass. Now I know it might be an easier way to do this, but you know, again, I'm just trying to you know, get all this done. And if there's another way, you know, I would be more than happy to, you know, for you guys to show me how. But this is just the way how, you know, I've, you know, seen how to put the string on, because I'm not really good with tying knots and stuff like that. Yeah, so I just figured it'll be easier to just, you know, cut the twine and wrap it around with some hot glue, and add a little bit more hot glue onto the twine, and just smooth it out. And make sure you wear these little rubber fingers, and I got those out of Dollar Tree as well in their craft section. Yeah, so you just smooth it out, and it'll help, you know, with all those flyaway stems on the twine. It'll give it a nice smooth effect. So this is how our bells are looking thus far. What do you guys think? So as the hot glue dries, they'll really start to take on the effect that you want. Now, this is a bell that I got out of Dollar Tree. Now, they got all their Christmas bells out, and they were just regular gold bells. And one of them, that one at the top, it had a little print to it with the little circles. But and they really are pretty the way how they were when I bought them from Dollar Tree. But I just have to do the most with them. So to leave them the plain way that they were would not have went with my decor scheme this year, because I'm going for an old vintage vibe. So I had to recreate these bells to make them look vintage and worn out. So I took them outside, spray painted them black, and I just used black as a background. You could use any color you like. White, green, red, whatever your color theme is for, where you're going to put these bells. You could feel free to use that as a background color on the bells. I just chose this hammered bronze, I think it is. It's like a really dark bronzy color, but it's a hammered color. And then I just lightly sprayed over that with some black spray paint to just finish off the bell, to make sure the rub and buff comes through nice and neatly. So again, I thank you guys for tuning in, and feel free to ask me anything you like as far as with any of the crafts that I'm making. And if you're enjoying what you see during this Christmas holiday season, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps me out, helps the channel out, because I am new here. And so now we're at the fun part. We're going to be using this rub and buff, and this is the most incredible stuff I have discovered. I went out and got 2 more. So I got another antique gold, and we're going to use a new one. It's called ebony. So the ebony is new. So I'm not sure what it's going to look like, but if it's a rub and buff, I'm sure I'm going to love it, because I fell in love with this stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you, when you use the rub and buff, it does have a slight odor. It's not bad like a spray paint, but you will smell an odor, so keep that in mind, okay? So if I don't want anybody using this stuff and you start getting dizzy or something like that. But it does give off a little odor, but it's not that strong, okay? So just keep that in mind. And look, that's how much I use. A little goes so long, goes such a long way. And that's a good thing. So that's the ebony, and it's black. Look at that, it's black. I was really surprised. I was thinking I was going to see like a brown or something, but I guess in the rub and buff world, ebony is black. So, but that's fine. It came out really nice. I just wanted to see what it looked like, and I'm liking it. So there, I could put it on the, I'm just rubbing a little onto the hot glue. And it really cut this project time down in half for me, because I was afraid I was going to have to get some paint or take those bells back outside to spray paint them black to get rid of that cardboard look. But the ebony rub and buff came in handy, and this stuff dries super quick. Like by the time you're finished dabbing it on, it's drying. you know, so that's what I like about it. So this is more of the antique gold, because you guys, I used up that whole tube of antique gold with my Christmas bulbs. I did over about 50 Christmas bulbs 2 weeks ago, and to do all those bulbs, all I used was that little one tube of rub and buff, and got all of those bulbs done. So this stuff is amazing. And it's not a sponsorship, but I'm just telling everybody, you know, this stuff is amazing. So there, I just have a little sponge, and I'm dabbing it on. And look at how the bell is coming to life, you guys. And no one would ever think it, once they see that hanging up, that all it is made out of a plastic cup and the handle is cardboard. Look at that. So again, if you find this interesting, you know, please share the video. And then, like, on the inside, because I forgot to show you guys how to do that. You could, like, always, like, put little bells glue them onto a string of twine and glue them inside the bells if you want the bells to have like a jingle sound. That works, because I did do a couple bells like that, but I just forgot to show you guys how to do that. So in the next video, because I'm going to show you guys how I made some the other bells, the square bells, out of soda cans. I'll show you guys how to load the inside of the bell and put something in there that'll make a little ting 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 sound when, you know, you hang them up, or if someone touches them, they'll kind of sound like bells, real bells. But yeah, so make sure you guys turn on your notifications and stay tuned for that. Up until 12 days before Christmas, I'm going to try to upload 2 videos per week, whether they be DIYs, cooking, for the holidays, preparing for my Christmas party, because I have an annual Christmas party. So I'll be vlogging that, preparations for that. So, you know, so you can stay tuned for that and turn on your notifications, because of course I'm going to have tons of DIYs for that occasion coming up. So we're going to have a really fun holiday season this year. And you guys, look at that. Look at that bell. Isn't this stuff amazing? Now, this is the antique gold. Look at that. That is so awesome. Okay, this is going really well with my decor this year. So this rub and buff stuff, I just absolutely love it. And I'm experimenting right there, rubbing it onto the rope at the top. But look at how the definition of it came out on the hot glue. It looks like the bell was welded together. Now, this is the bell that I got from Dollar Tree. And you see the hot glue has dried. And I'm just so beside myself how these are coming out. Look at that. Very pretty, pretty. So I'm very pleased. So we're just going to keep going. We're going to see how many, you know, we could come up with in different colors. Now this one, I'm using the silver. So let's see how the silver does. The silver rub and buff. Now what I've noticed with the silver is the silver glides on thicker than the gold leaf. So really, if you use the silver leaf, try to use just a little teeny dab of that, unless you want a really heavy silver color. Like, see how it's really heavy and you can't hardly see any of the black? Yeah, that I didn't want to cover up all the black in the background. So when something like that happens, I'm just going in right here with a little bit of that Spanish copper, because I got this rub and buff in every color that they had there at Hobby Lobby. And the Spanish copper is a must-have, because you see with the Spanish copper what it does. I use that to tone the silver down. You see how it's toning it down? Because otherwise the silver is like really in your face, and it's like really, really shiny and metallic-y. Metallic-y, is that a word? But it gives off that real metallic look, and I didn't want something looking real bling bling, shiny like that on, as far as with the bells. I wanted a more rustic, vintage, worn, distressed look on the bell. And we got to keep in mind that these are plastic cups. Okay, but we're making them look like bells. Okay, look at that. And I like how that looks. It's not as bright in your face. So the Spanish copper and the silver are champions together. So if you're going to use the silver, just always still pick up the Spanish copper, because you could use that to tone down the silver leaf. And in some instances I used it to tone up the antique gold, because the antique gold, that's the antique gold that I'm using right there. The antique gold can be a little shiny too, but you could always mix it. You could always mix the Spanish copper with the antique gold, and seem like the Spanish copper, it just kind of tones down everything, and it just creates a wonderful effect. So this has got to be the most biggest discovery for me for this, DIY Christmas season, is this rub and buff. I can't get enough of it. So again, I'm just so grateful, and I thank you all for tuning in. I know my videos can be kind of long, but I'd be liking to show you guys exactly what it is and how I achieve the things that, my DIYs, how I achieve the look that I'm achieving. And yeah, so I've been trying to cut the videos back a little. Now see there, I rubbed some of the rub and buff that's on the sponge onto the rope around the top of the bell, and it gave off a really nice look to the bell, to the rope. See that? See that gold glimmer on the rope? And look at those like nail marks. They look like welded nails. So this is what all three of the bells look like together. I am very, very pleased. So yeah, so that's what the hot glue does. I go around the bottoms of the bells, And any areas that I want to have lifted, or any places I want to create an illusion of cracks or anything like that, the hot glue works really well with that. Now here's another one of those bells that I got from Dollar Tree. And it was really pretty the way how it was when I got it. It was all gold. And it was a shiny, really shiny gold. And they were $1.25. And you can keep them like the way they were. You really can, because they were absolutely beautiful the way they were. And they had a piece of halle berry and some greenery at the top, but I took all that off because I needed everything to blend in with my holiday decor, which is a more rustic, vintage, distressed look for this 2023 season. Oh, look at that. Look at those lines that the hot glue did. So yeah, so this is how I started layering the colors, because you can do that as well. Because sometimes I notice with like I said, with the silver leaf, it could come off really, really shiny. So I'm just, blending the colors in, layering the colors, gold, silver, Spanish, copper, to try to give this one a more, how can I say, a more mixed metal look. So yeah, so I just go in with some, sponging some of the silver, and then sponging some of the gold, and tone it down with the Spanish copper. And to create a real distressed look, I just rubbed around the bell with some of that ebony that's left over on the sponge. And like I said, you don't always have to dab into color. That color stays on these sponges for a long time. So look at that. You could just use a little bit of the rub and buff, and you could like cover 3 or 4 different bells with the same sponge. So there, this is how this is done. And you could also put the black onto the rope. That would be a nice contrast as well. Let's see, I just decided to, just sponge a little bit onto the twine just to see what happens. And, the ideas with this is endless, you guys. So there I'm putting on some more of that silver, and see how I'm dabbing it on, but the silver seems really, really strong, much stronger than the antique gold when it goes on. It glides on much heavier than the antique gold, or even the gold leaf. So I just really have to, with a light hand, just really lightly buff it down, because if you heavy hand it with with the silver, you're going to cover up all your background color. And see how I want some of the black to still show in the background, but this silver leaf is much more heavier, and it glides on much thicker. I noticed even if you just dab a little bit, it glides on much heavier than any one of the other rubbing buffs. So just be mindful of that. You only need to put a little bit on your sponge because of the silver, because it goes on so heavy. So I think I like that. Wonderful, wonderful. And here I'm just dabbing in some of the Spanish copper to just tone it down a little bit. I don't want it to blind someone when they come in and look at my fireplace, you know, because the silver is really, really in your face. It's like a real true metallic. But, you know, you could tone it down with the Spanish brown, the Spanish copper, excuse me, and or with the ebony. But just know the ebony is black. It's going to come out much darker than this. So, okay, so I done talked you guys' ears off. So I'm going to continue on working, and I'm going to start working on those little guys in the back, those little bells. And yeah, I'm going to play some music for you guys, and then we'll be back in a couple minutes to talk about what's going on.
Merry Christmas, baby. Reindeer's coming out to play. Santa Claus is packing the presents, making sure you've been behaving okay. Merry Christmas, honey. Yeah. The snowman's dusting off his hat, putting on the show for everybody, to give them a smile that lasts another year. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December ends, when the children are singing, yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Room at the table for big and for small. All the fire is popping, the chestnuts are cracking, yeah. Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas, baby. The snow is laying 2 feet deep. Now wish upon a falling star, so all your secret dreams can come true. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December ends, when the children are singing, yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby.
Okay, you guys, so this is what they pretty much came out looking like. And on the inside, like on the inside right there, you could feel free to put a string in there and put some bells on there. I'm going to show you guys in another video how to do that when I make the other bells made out of soda cans. But you guys, look how they turned out. They're so lovely. I can't wait to hang these up on my other tree, because I have several trees that I'm putting up and throughout my home. So 3 trees are up. I have about 4 more to go. So yeah, these bells are just gonna be the showstopper this year. They really are. And to buy bells like this in a store would be so expensive. So, this is how they turned out. And I thank you all for tuning in. And I hope you enjoyed what you've seen. And please like and subscribe. And until the next one, take care of yourselves and each other.